Hello and welcome to Small Town Big Business, a podcast about big business in rural middle America. I'm your co-host, Deb Barnett. I'm also the executive director for Southern Illinois Now, which is a 17-county economic development initiative right here in Southern Illinois to attract new residents, new businesses, and really advance our region as a great place to live and work and to do business.
Yeah, and I'm Russell Williams. I'm director of EThOs, Small Business Incubator, co-working spaces, training and development here in Marion, Illinois. Welcome to the Citadel building, historic building here on our Tower Square Plaza. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for our sponsors, and that includes Arcadia Wealth Group, Black Diamond Harley Davidson and RV, Fowler Heating and Cooling, Swinford Media Group, the Watermark Auto Group Foundation, and our producers at Union Street Arts.
And you can subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform. And also you can listen and watch on our YouTube channel. Just search Small Town Big Business and subscribe for free so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. If you're joining us for the first time, we interview small business owners and founders about why and how they are so successful and thriving in small towns like right here in Marion, Illinois, that is just beautiful today and hustling and bustling right here at Tower Square, but also small towns across Southern Illinois and throughout the Midwest. Today we're going to take a little bit of a detour because we have Christopher Swims with us today, and you have worked with some of our youngest entrepreneurs, so
Absolutely.
I want to talk to you about that today. But first of all, welcome.
Well, thank you so much for having me on. I greatly appreciate it and honored to be here.
Yeah, we're very excited to talk about your work with young entrepreneurs. And I first want to start with having you tell us a little bit about Jackson CEO, which is the program that you worked with entrepreneurs through, and just tell us a little bit about that.
So Jackson CEO stands for Creating Entrepreneur Opportunities. It started back in Effingham a few years ago by the late Craig Ligwall. He's known as the architect of CEO. Long story short, he had an idea. He was a high school music teacher, had an idea to create opportunities for some of the students there to have more hands-on experience into entrepreneurship. He went to the school board and said, hey, I have an idea. I want to do this program. I think it'd be great. They said, hey, we don't have the money to be able to do it. He said, so if I have the money, I can be able to do the program. They said yes. So he went, came back with the funds, and now CEO started in Effingham, and it is literally going all over the country. I can't remember how many programs we have now, but I know it's some in Minnesota, Arizona, Illinois. It is just growing and thriving all over the place. It's an amazing opportunity for juniors and seniors that are in high school to be able to get the experience of doing entrepreneurship, speaking and talking to founders and speaking and talking to entrepreneurs and just hearing their story. It's great for them to be able to hear the story of individuals that are right here in their neighborhood versus someone of a Fortune 500 company that may be in a city. Their experiences are different there. Well, how they may have gotten started is different, but being right here in their area, in their community, in their city offers them just the opportunities of a lifetime, just gaining wisdom from their experience. So it's a program that they have to apply for from their high school. So Jackson CEO is made up of 4 high schools: Carbondale Community High School, Murfreesboro High School, Trico High School, and Alvarado High School.
And those are all in Jackson County, Illinois. Jackson CEO.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but when it comes to our business tours and guest speakers, they're from all over Southern Illinois. So we try to hit in those areas, not just Carbondale and Marion, but also in Alvarado, Elkville, Campbell Hill area, Ava area, hitting in some of those places as well, so that those that are in Carbondale and Murfreesboro can be exposed to what's going on in those areas as well. Okay. So we meet Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 9 a.m. It's professional dressed every day. So they're learning soft business skills, speaking to someone, when you shake their hands, looking them in the face, so different things like that, public speaking. It was so great. This is going into my second year, but my first year, it was great to be able to see the change and transformation from August all the way until May. Some who never would have spoke to anybody publicly, they have the confidence to stand and to share their pitch about their business, to share about their business endeavor. It was great just to be able to see them stand with the confidence to speak to other individuals that they didn't know, making small talk with people that they didn't know, and not having that awkward silence when you're amongst other people that you don't know. So it's just they've learned and grown so much over not even a year's time span.
That's awesome. Christopher, before we talk more about the program, tell us about yourself and how did you get tied into being a facilitator, your background?
Yeah, so I am originally from Chicago, came here 20 years ago to go to SIU, graduated and started pastoring Hopewell Missionary Baptist Church, and have been here ever since. So I have a wife. My wife and I, we've been married come August, will be 11 years. We have 2 daughters, Karen's 7 and Kennedy, who's 4. And so we have developed some big roots here in Southern Illinois, so it has definitely become home. And so my wife, speaking about that with the program, my wife, someone had sent it to her. She said, hey, I think you should do it. You should apply for it. I'm looking at the qualifications and, having experience in entrepreneurship and business. I said, honey, I've never started a business. She said, I think you should apply. So I applied for it. Went for the interview, got it. My predecessor, Nick Scovard, which was great. He has been awesome and helped me to navigate through my first year. Did it, and I love it. I love it. It has exposed me to Southern Illinois and seeing different things that I had never seen before, meeting people I had never met before, and really allowed me to have a greater love and appreciation for Southern Illinois. I tell the young professionals that, hey, you don't have to stay here forever, but you can start here. Southern Illinois is a good place for you to be able to get started with your ideas and with your businesses, and just sharing with them that entrepreneurship, the end goal, yes, is for you to be able to work for yourself and to do what you love, but it's also making sure that whatever it is, your product, your service, that you love it and that you want to be able to make an impact. Right. So I encourage them, once we get started with the individual businesses, to think about your area, think about where you live at, think about your town, think about your community. What's missing? What's a problem that you have, a problem that they have, that you may have the solution through an idea, through a product, through a service that can be able to help. Not just make you money, that's good, but they can be able to help and make a difference in where you live. And so that really challenged them to really think beyond just surface things, but just really one of the young professionals, he had an idea. He's from the Ava Campbell Hill area, and so he had an idea for grocery delivery service because no one will come to that area. Very rural area, so no one would deliver to that area. And so he used the members from his church as test customers to see, hey, is this something you would like? And so he has taken, and I'm hoping that he will continue on with it because it fits, it meets a need. It meets a need in the area. People that are busy, having to go to the store if you have kids, you end up, your budget can say $50, but you'll come out spending $2,000 because your kids are seeing everything that they want, putting in the cart that you didn't even realize was in the cart until you get to the counter. And so it's easier to be able to have groceries being delivered to the house. We use it all the time. Busy day, I'm getting home late, wife getting home late, having groceries delivered to the house. And so he met a need that he has met some amazing people, and it serves this community well. So those are just one of the ways of how the CEO program really challenged them to be able to see beyond just where they are, to be able to see the bigger picture of everything.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. Have you found that there's a great connection with the purpose that you have as a pastor? Why you do what you do. Did you find it now in facilitating? Yeah, absolutely. I've worked in education for over a decade now as a substitute teacher, and then in other areas, and just seeing to be able to help the younger generation in helping to find focus and purpose and where they're headed and where they're going. I may not speak about Jesus or quote scriptures and whatever when I'm talking to them, but it's still in the same way, this quote unquote discipleship and leading them in the direction and helping them and guiding them to be able to see, hey, this is where you are, you can make a difference. Right. And so many of them were planning to, some of the seniors, they had been maybe possibly thinking about going away for school, but because of the program, they decided to stay here. Right. And they're going to John A. Logan, they're going to SIU because they're seeing, having been exposed to Southern Illinois, hey, there's a lot that I don't have to stay here forever, but I can get started here and do something that can be able to make an impact and be able to make a difference. Well, I know about your church too, Hopewell and Carbondale. I think there's an entrepreneurial spirit in that church ministry that ties into what you're doing now. So I think that's awesome.
Absolutely.
I think you've hit on this a little bit, Christopher, but why is entrepreneurship important for these students? You mentioned you're starting at 7:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Some of them are driving
they all are
15, 20, 30 minutes to get...
Some 30, 40 minutes to get to Murfreesboro,
to that place. And they're also balancing that with all the other demands. I mean, kids have a lot of demands on their lives now. They're required classes, maybe they work outside, athletics, all those things. So why is this important?
This is the introduction for them learning time management. They've learned, so part of the program is they have a class business. So each class will develop a business. My job was clearly to facilitate. This past class, they did a murder mystery dinner at Route 51 in Elkville. It was amazing. They had over 200 people in attendance. It was awesome. But they had to put together everything. Okay, and my job was just to ask questions to really get them to thinking deeper about it. Okay, hey, you guys want to do a murder mystery dinner? Okay, so are we going to hire a company to come in to do it? Oh yeah, we're going to do that. How much does it cost? They do the research and realize, man, it's like $1,000, $2,000 to do it. What else can we do? Oh, we can get the items off of Amazon. Okay, how much do they cost? How many do you need? How many people are you expecting? Hey, how are we going to pay for it? We got to go out and get sponsors to be able to do it.
Yes.
Okay, you have to make it worth their while to invest into your business. So what are you going to offer them to be able to do that? And so they had to meet with the caterer. They talked with the caterer about the prices, about the menu. Oh, we want to have desserts. We don't want them to do it. But are you allowed to bring in an outside vendor to come into their establishment? You got to ask those questions. And so they really had to think through. They had to make a decision as a class and realize, and from that they were able to learn, okay, hey, just because it's not my idea and I think my idea is better, I don't have to trash somebody else's idea. I have to be open to be able to hear what they're saying because we are a team. So they're learning how. And I told them from the very beginning, for the rest of your life, even if you are an entrepreneur, you're going to have to work with other people. You're going to have to work with other people that you may not necessarily like, may not agree with, but you're going to have to work with them. You're going to have to find some level ground where you all can be able to agree to disagree. And sometimes you're having to learn how to, my idea may be great, but I may have to step back and let somebody else lead. Okay, I see there is no leadership. I may have to step up and take on leadership in doing something else. And so through all of that, they were able to learn, and they saw the fruits of their labor because they were having to, I think the day of our murder mystery dinner, one of the young professionals, he had a bowling tournament. So he literally drove from his bowling tournament, came to Route 51, went in the bathroom and changed clothes to get ready for the dinner. But his teammates were holding him down until he got there. They were supportive of him. And so they were showing the whole team effort in getting everything done. Now they bickered and argued, in the process of that. But they were able at the end to see the fruits of their labor and to see, man, like, we put together a real event that brought real people and generated real money. Yeah. And so they were able to see what they were able to do together as a team. So it was amazing. And the whole point was that no one, even during the dinner, no one knew. Someone said, wait a minute, that has to be some adult that's helping them. No one knew who I was because it wasn't about me being known. It was about them. So they had to handle stuff. They were realizing something at the end that they needed. Hey, if I go to the store to get this, will I be able to get reimbursed? Yep, just bring me the receipt. Yeah, so they were learning how to think quick. Yeah. One of the guys, they had bought a karaoke speaker, but it wasn't loud enough in the space that we had. And so it was like, man, Mr. Sims, I think I should go and ask the owner, but I think that he may charge us for it. I said, hey, you'll never know until you ask. So he went and talked to the owner, bought the speaker out. He didn't charge us for it, set it up, do all of that stuff. And I told him you have to be quick on your feet and thinking about navigating. Leaders solve issues. Leaders solve problems. So, hey, when you're there and you're in leadership, you have to solve the problem. You got to think quick. You got to be able to make the decision and knowing, okay, it may cost us. We'll take care of that at the end, but this is what we have to do for right now. And so they were able to do all of that. And I was just So proud of them.
Amazing
So
life
proud of 'em.
skills.
Yeah, and so and that's the thing. They're learning things. And even our last day in class, I told them, take everything that you have learned over these past few months, and you can still use it in life later on. You're going to see somewhere down the road where, he did say this. He said this was going to happen. That you can be able to use that in everyday life.
Right. Well, I love that transformation that you see in the program too, because I've been able to visit and talk with the CEO programs. Talk about who else gets involved in this program, because you do invite business leaders and community leaders to come in and speak and maybe do some training and exercises with them. Talk about who you've had and what benefits they've had.
So we've had representative from the banks to come, not just talk about personal business finance, but personal finance, credit card debt, keeping your account, navigating through all of those different things, making sure that as they start their business to have separate accounts, personal account, business account, and never allowing the two to be able to come together.
Two pockets.
Right, because then you end up having some issues later on because you don't know what's personal, you don't know what's business. So that probably one of the most impactful speakers that we have had. All of them have been great, and one that I can think of is Elizabeth Struess from Eclairs in Carbondale. She came in, and we call her the unofficial auntie of CEO. She's just amazing. She's awesome. And so she came in and she shared. We went to her. We toured her business, and she shared with us about a business that she had that it didn't go the way that she thought that it was going to go, and so they had to close it. She was very transparent in sharing that and how, wrestling with the whole idea of being a failure because of that and the mistakes and different things like that. And I told them, I said, this is real life entrepreneurship. This is real life entrepreneurship, that some things you won't know until you do it. That you'll realize, okay, I didn't realize that cost me more. I didn't make anything from it. Making a decision, do I continue on and invest more money knowing that there will be no return on it, or do I just shut it down and start over and possibly come back with it with a new mindset, a new perspective on it? Just her insight and her transparency to be able to share was just amazing. For them to be able to see this is what real entrepreneurship look like. That they have to learn, just even with individual business. So once they get done with the class business, then they move into individual businesses where they develop their own business. They develop business plans. We sit down with bankers. Bankers ask them questions about their business plans, and they get loans. So part of the money that they get from the class business will be distributed amongst the class for the individual business. So they may ask for a certain amount, and so they sit down with the bank. Just like a real life thing, bankers would ask them different questions about it, and they will determine if, full loan, partial loan, no loan at all. And so they really had to go through and write out, think about their, project their finances. So they're learning all of these different things, all of these different skills that they can use later on in life, but it gives them the introduction 2, 3, 4, 5 years later on down the road from now. They know how to do it. And if they don't know how to do it, they have contacts to be able to contact people and to be able to network, to be able to get the help that they need in doing what they desire to do. And so having the bankers come in, we've had representatives from SIU, Touch of Nature, just from all over, a wide range of speakers and business visits, Penn Aluminum in Murfreesboro, Silkworm, just different people, Forest Financial, just different people that have come in and just really invested their time and their wisdom into them to open them up to the possibilities, but also to give them the behind the scenes looks of how entrepreneurship works and what it really looks like. And for them knowing, social media makes it glamorized and it's nice. You pull up in your Bentley and you open up your door and you walk into your office and there's 3 assistants there and you pop your feet up on the desk. That's not real life. That's not real reality. There's work that goes into it, hours before your staff even gets there, hours when they leave that you still have to put in to put into the business. So they've learned all of that. One thing came up that they were trying to figure out with, I think it was the class business or individual business. Something was going on, and they didn't know if they're going to have time. I said, you are either going to have to get up earlier before you go to school, or you're going to have to go to bed late after practice, or you may have to miss practice to do it. I can't miss practice. I don't care how you do it, but you got to get it done.
Yeah.
So you decide morning, in between classes or in the evening, but it's your job to get it done.
Yeah.
This is your business. You are the CEO. And unfortunately, right now, you have no other staff, so it's just you. So you got to be able to get it done.
That's good.
That's
awesome.
powerful. That is so powerful. And they come out of the program so far ahead of the game. Like, I'm thinking of a lot of adults listening right now that are saying, I wish I would have had a program like that, right?
Yeah,
or have one, just for anyone wanting to start a business.
Absolutely.
It's so important.
Absolutely.
So you mentioned that you come from a background of course, you're a pastor, community leader, but you're not a business owner.
No.
So what did you learn through this process? Sort of what was most surprising to you?
I think it was just I think what was so good for me was just the beauty of Southern Illinois and just everything that Southern Illinois has to offer. Some of them, we went to the School of Business, College of Business at SIU, and that was their first time on campus. And they live here in Southern Illinois. And so just exposing them to, and myself being exposed to everything that Southern Illinois has to offer, the speakers that we've had, the mentors that they've had, that has just been the biggest thing, just the people that make up Southern Illinois and the different things that are going on that they can be a part of, and growing themselves, but then growing their potential businesses and future businesses in the future as well.
Yeah. Now, these students do have a mentor. That's part of the program?
Yes, they have a mentor. Everyone is put with the mentor. We pretty much do a 2-to-1, 2 students to 1 mentor, and we have mentor day once a month, where they come there and they are doing different icebreakers and exercises together, and some of them meet with their young professional outside of class, which they've just made amazing relationships. And then just to wrap up the program, we do a trade show where they come, they have booths with their businesses, with their services, and I just sat back because some of them who would not speak above a 2 in August, I saw them shaking hands with people and confidently sharing with them about their business and their plans, their present plans and their future plans. And I was just so proud because they've taken in everything and they were able to see that they did this. Like I told them, you guys came in as students, but you walked out of here as CEOs. Like you guys have started businesses. You guys have started clothing lines. You guys have started lawn care services. You all have started graphic designs and vending machines. I mean, they did it, and so they were really, 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 really proud of themselves and just kind of shocked. Some I don't think they realized they could do it. One young man told me that CEO saved his life. That he wasn't really a great student. He wasn't really feeling school and really doing well in school, but he has taken everything from CEO and have thrived because of it. He came on there question trying to figure out, but now have confident plans about the future and what he wants to do because of what the program has instilled within him and exposed him to. So for me, that's if nobody else gained anything from that, for me, that's a win. Yeah. Him walking out with the plan of action, not just for now, but for the future of what he can do with his life.
That's so good.
And just the relationships that they built. They not only, we have about 7-8 months that they're together for 90 minutes every day. So they build relationships. So they've supported each other in different sporting events, and they've gone and supported one in football games, even though it might have been a rival game against schools, but they went and supported the other. And just the relationships that they have built and the networking that they've used to help each other and making things come together. It's just been great. It really has. And it's something that they'll never forget. They'll never forget each other. They'll never forget that time together and what they have been exposed to and what they've learned. They'll never forget it.
Right. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So they have mentors, but do you have a mentor or cheerleader, somebody that's helped you in the program? You mentioned Nick Skogard, but him, what do they add to you? Oh, man, Nick, just his wealth of experience from being the previous facilitator and just being open to be able to share, just, not stingy with the resources, but being open. Who he knew, I knew. He would make those introductions. Probably one of my biggest cheerleaders through all of this has been my wife. Yeah.
She
signed you up for it, right?
She did. She gave me,
but she knew what she was doing.
Yeah. She knew what she was doing. And so balancing that means that, we're up early in the morning, about 5:30, 6 o'clock, getting the girls ready for school. And as I'm leaving out the door, she's probably about another 15, 20 minutes behind me, but I couldn't do it without her. The sacrifices of getting up earlier so we can get the girls ready for school. She's dropping them off and different things like that. So she has been, the biggest cheerleader.
You better mention her name in case we didn't.
Brittany, you are absolutely right. And then Midland Institute, who is kind of oversees everything. We have a good board.
And you said they're out of Effingham, Illinois.
Right, Midland's out of Effingham, and they have been awesome. Ryan Fowlers and Christy have been great with just checking in and providing training for first-year facilitators and helping us to navigate through everything. So they have been awesome. They really have been amazing.
And the program has sponsors also.
Yes, so we have investors. And if anyone that's watching, that's listening, if you want to be an investor, you can email me at facilitator@jacksonceo.org. And so the goal is to have investors that will invest into the program $1,000 a year and helping us to be able to take care of salary costs and different things that come up with the program. And so I think it's a great investment for them to be able, especially when they get the opportunity to come in and to see. You can look at it on Facebook, that's great, but to come and to see it live in color, it's amazing to be able to see, especially from start to finish, and come in the middle and just see the changes that have happened within them and how much they have grown, how much they have developed. It's just amazing. They would joke with me and say that they know that part of the CEO experience is to leave every speaker with the wow experience. That they've gotten to the point that when the speaker would come in, they would see them. They knew you go up and you shake their hands and you introduce yourself to them, and then when they leave, you go back and you shake their hands and you thank them because they're giving their time for free. They're giving their wisdom. They're giving their insight. They're giving their life experience to you all, so it's worth it. It's honorable to thank them for it. And so they would tell me that, Mr. Swims, now we're starting to do this at school. When we walk into the classroom, we're shaking our teacher's hand, and then once we leave, we're shaking our teacher's hand. I say it's CEO experience. You're giving them the wow experience wherever you go. So they've learned that just what we've learned in CEO, they're using it in other places as well, which is great. Awesome. And then it causes them to stand out from others.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, you mentioned early on that this is a stepping stone, that they may not always stay here, but I sure hope some of them choose to stay here.
I do too.
Right? Because I know that you had a kind of a wow feeling when you came up here and we were explaining what EThOs is about.
Yes.
But I sure hope that some of them will find a place here in Southern Illinois and maybe partners like EThOs or the SBDC in Carbondale and Harrisburg might be able to provide some more support for them getting businesses started.
Yeah, it was music to my ears when you mentioned earlier about how it really not only opened up the students' eyes to Southern Illinois and everything that's going on, but also your eyes. Yeah. But there are great things happening here.
Yes.
So are there things that stood out most to you that you didn't know about the region, or to the students that they were like, I had no idea that this was going on in Southern Illinois?
I knew about SBDC, but I had no idea the magnitude of the impact and the resources there available. And so I'm so grateful and thankful that Michael Jessup, who works there, he's on the board for Jackson CEO. And so we've already been talking about plans. I'm like, hey, when it comes to developing business plans, we're going to be here for a full week, just walking them through and sharing with them and giving them, and so them letting them know, hey, you're trying to get started with something. Hey, you don't have to think too hard. Come over here to SBDC. They can help you. They can coach you and go and get through all of that. So that and I've been a champion and telling people about it.
And SBDC, for those that don't know, Small Business Development Center, funded by the Small Business Administration. They are all over the country, so no matter where someone's listening, they can find an SBDC in their area.
Yes, and so they are so resourceful. And so I've been sharing with people that I know that are starting out with businesses and not really sure what to do, where to go. I'm like, go over there, and they would get you together.
At no cost.
At no cost, and that's been the amazing part about it. And some that have gone in and, spent money that they really did not know. And so just trying to be a champion to be able to share that with them, especially with people of color, letting them know of these options and these opportunities that are there to help them with their business development is huge.
That's good.
Really
Absolutely.
big.
That's good. So talk about, this is your second year for the program. What is it looking like, and what future things? How are you seeing the future for Jackson County CEO
Learned so
program?
much this first year. Took so many notes of different things that I want to do. do, part of the program is they have a national pitch competition where with all of the CEO groups from all over, we had 3 that submitted. This year, they didn't get it, but I was proud of them. They were disappointed, of course. I think we turned the TV off after we heard. No, they wanted me to. I said, we're not going to do that. That's poor sportsmanship. So we celebrated with others. But one of the things that I do want to do this coming year is to have a local pitch competition for them to be able to, of course they participate in the national, but to have a local pitch competition and make it huge, just like the trade show, make it a big deal so that people from all over, the more exposure for them, the more exposure for Southern Illinois, and maybe someone there that's looking for some individuals to come and work for them or mentor them. And so it'd be a great opportunity for exposure for the program and also for them as individuals. And anytime to be able to, hone your skills, and the more you do a thing, the better you become at it.
Right.
And so just giving them that exposure to be able to do that. And so one of the things that I definitely want to do this year is to do a local pitch competition to prepare them for the national pitch competition, but also just to be able to get them. Public speaking is almost, because we're so used with social media now, with typing and not really or looking into a camera, but public speaking is a thing that you have to continue to work on. And so I definitely want to be able to expose them that, to give them those opportunities.
We have a generation that doesn't want to make a phone call because they can text,
They
right?
can text.
So the speaking skills.
Right. And so to help them in that.
We had the pitch competition winner last year on the interview, and I thought he was from Perry County, but I thought it was Jackson.
Might have been Alvarado High School, Max.
Max.
Yeah,
yes,
he's from Alvarado.
Yep.
Okay. He's from Alvarado. Which he came into the class and helped them get their pitches ready for the national pitch. Yeah, he was awesome.
So you mentioned investors earlier. If there's a potential investor listening or a family member that has a high school student or even a high school student listening, I think you've done a great job of sharing the value in this program. But how would you sum that up? Why is it important to invest in youth entrepreneurship?
I think it's important to be able to do it because, especially if we know where we are in Southern Illinois and what we don't have and what we're missing, but making an investment into CEO helps sustain the future of what Southern Illinois can be able to look like. And them knowing that there are people behind me. And I tell them, I say, guys, this program is going on because there are people that believe in you. And they're not just saying it with their mouths, but they're saying it with their pockets. And so if they're willing to invest their money, that's a big deal. Whatever I put my money to, it has to mean something. And so people are investing their money into this thing. So it's important that we take it seriously, that we go. You're not just making your family proud, you're not just making your school proud, but you're making Southern Illinois proud by what you're doing. And so when individuals invest into it, we are investing into the sustainability of Southern Illinois when it comes to businesses and entrepreneurship that can literally change the scope of our region and our area.
Good. Well, as we close out this interview, is there anything else you want to share with us that we may have forgotten to ask?
No, just want to say thanks again for the opportunity to come and share about CEO.
Yeah, you're excellent. We'd love
Thank
to have you back over here at EThOs too. If
Absolutely.
either your students or yourself and you want to be part of the business classes that we have here, that'd be excellent. We
Absolutely.
love having you here. And so thank you to Christopher Swims.
Thank you.
He's a CEO facilitator over in Jackson County. And thank you all for being part of the Small Town Big Business community, listening and watching our episodes. And thank you to our sponsors, including Arcadia Wealth Group, Black Diamond Harley Davidson and RV, Fowler Heating and Cooling, the Swinford Media Group, Watermark Auto Group Foundation, and also Union Street Arts. If you have any recording, photography needs, reach out to Luke O'Neill at Union Street Arts.
And don't forget to subscribe on your favorite platform to listen to our podcasts, and also on the YouTube channel by searching Small Town Big Business. And again, subscribe for free so you don't miss this episode or any upcoming episodes.
Absolutely.
And Deb, if they want to reach out to Southern Illinois Now, how do they reach you?
Absolutely. So Southern Illinois Now is at southernillinoisnow.org. We're also on all the social media channels, and you can follow all those great stories that we talked about today and all the great things happening in Southern Illinois.
And if you want to know more about EThOs, you can contact me. I'm Russell Williams, and I'm Russell at watermarkethos.org. You can find us on Facebook, EThOs at the Citadel. And we offer training and development for small businesses. We offer co-working spaces. And we want to thank you for joining us again for this episode. I'm Russell Williams.
And I'm Deb Barnett. Have a great day.